Good afternoon, Lake Stevens Schools. This is Chad Brandt, 4th grade teacher at Sunnycrest Elementary, and welcome to the very first episode of the Swimming in Tech video cast. I'd like to introduce myself, Chad Brandt, and I also have with me...
I'm Phil Biggs. I'm the technology TOSA for the district and struggling with a little bit of technology here if I look off to the edge.
All right, well, welcome to our inaugural screencast here, and we're just going to get going right away with our first segment. We'll have 4 segments to share with you today, and our first one is the Google Apps Freestyle. First, today we're going to talk about image editing in Google Slides and Docs. We'll be talking about cropping and masking images and some other image editing options that you have available to you in these 2 apps. I'm going to close out of our document here and take out this background image. All right, I'm going to show you some image editing options you have in Google Slides. I'm just going to start by uploading an image clicking on this image button, and you can see all the options you have for inserting an image. I'm just going to upload one quickly from my desktop that I had prepared of a swimmer. Okay, here is my image, and first, what you can do with your image is crop it. The crop tool is this icon right here. If you click on crop image, you'll see you now have some black handles at the corners and the sides of your image. If you click and drag on any of these handles, you can choose where to crop your image. I love how Google also just kind of fades out the portion of the image that you want to crop out, but they still show it so you can see what you are cropping out. Once you click off the image, then your crop is applied. I'm going to undo that so you could see the original and show you that also if you just want to shrink your crop window, you can then slide your image around in that crop window so you can see what will appear in your final crop once you click out of the image. So that's cropping, but there's another lesser known function that you can do with images, and that is insert an image inside a shape. Now it might be a little counterintuitive that you need to put the image in first and then put the shape in, because it's really called a mask. You might have noticed there's a little pull down arrow next to the crop image icon, and that's the mask image selection. If I pull that down, I have all the regular shapes available to me, and I love this 24-pointed star here. And if you just click on the 24-pointed star, bam, it applies it to your image, and now your image looks as if it is inside that very shape. I think that's really handy to add some pizzazz to your images. You can choose all kinds of shapes to insert your images within. So that is cropping and masking. But wait, there's more. Up next to the on the toolbar to the right here, you see some image options. If you click on those image options, you get a toolbar over here on the right-hand side. You can recolor the image. They have a number of different presets over here, or you can also get a grayscale or a sepia tone to your image. And then you have some slider bars for transparency if you want the background to show through a little bit through your image, or maybe you want to put some text on top of the image. The transparency is great for that. And you can also change the brightness and the contrast of the image all independently, and if you don't like what you've done, you can reset the adjustments and start again from scratch. Just a few image editing options you have available to you in Slides, and a lot of these are available in Google Docs as well. Now, already on to the second part of our video cast. The second is the Moodle Medley, and Phil is going to show you how to add a Google Apps block to your course to make it super easy for students to access their Google accounts and tools. Phil.
All right, I'll take over here on this one. Just as a thumbs up on Chad's is that remember that image does work in Google Docs. The image controls work in Google Docs, in Google Slides, Google Draw, and I don't think it works in the spreadsheet yet, but we can look forward to that. All right, I'm going to share a Moodle screen at this point, and we'll just get that going up here. And I'm just going to check in with Chad to make sure that's showing. Do you see a Moodle screen, Chad?
Got it. You're in.
All right. So one of the things that some of you may have heard me talking about over the last couple of months is that Moodle is a great kind of hub for your classroom. In other words, it's a starting point. You can put a lot of things in there, and we're going to talk more and more about that as we do that. But one of the great little tools that we found to add into Moodle in the last month or so is this Google Apps block, and you can see what it looks like right up here in the upper left. I have actually added that on to everybody's login page or your default My Home page up here. But how do you get that into your courses so when a student goes to your course, they still have access to all their Google apps, or at least the most important ones. You can see here Mail, Calendar, Google Drive, and now Classroom, because Classroom is a great way to assign and grade work that students have done. So here's how you do that. It's pretty simple. First thing we need to do is get into a Google course. So let me go into just one of mine. It doesn't really matter which one. This is a good one because we've got quite a few things in here to compete with. Next thing I have to do is turn editing on, and at that point, if I scroll down all the way to the bottom, and sometimes that's a long way, we can find the Add a Block. And in that, all we want to do is click, and we're going to come down to this Google Apps block. We click on that, and it'll pop back up to the top. Now, one of the bad things about blocks in Moodle, and I guess it makes sense, that they add the blocks at the very end of every page. So here's my Google Apps block down here at the very bottom. That's not a very friendly place. If you're going to use this as a hub, and that's something that you want kids to get access to a lot, we probably should move that much higher up in the system. So what I'm going to do is configure this block by clicking on the gear, because that always means configure in Moodle. And I'm going to click down here, and at this point in time, we get just kind of a standard of configuration in Moodle, and you have lots of choices. So the trick is, which ones do we care about? Well, first of all, I only have blocks on the left on this course, so I don't want to mess up my layout, so I'll leave it there. But what I want to do is I want to move this up so that it's right under the course instructor block. If I put it -10 or the very first, it'll put it above that. So I'm going to put it -9, and hopefully it will come in right in here. You always have to check a few things first, but let's just try this. We'll save the changes. And depending on how I've set up these other blocks, that may or may not go there. Okay, so I'm betting that I probably put this block to be -9. So, whoops, bring that back again. I will configure that block. Yep, I did. So let's go put that at 8, which will bring that down to the third one. So you can see sometimes you have to mess around with these just a little bit just to get all your order in the way you wanted it. And I'm also going to undock this one if it'll cooperate with me. And I'll bring that back out. There you go. So now I have my blocks in the order. So I still have my instructor block at the top, but I have this one right underneath. And you can see just, again, once you add it in, you just click the gear, configure, and your only option is where do you want that to appear on the page. It's a great, easy way for people to get to their Google items from within your Moodle course. And if a student's at home, they're on their parent's computer, as long as they're signed into Chrome, and even if they aren't, it's going to pop them right to their Gmail. It's a great little trick to make Moodle become the hub of your digital classroom. And Chad.
All right, thanks, Phil. I'll take over with the third segment of today's broadcast. I'll get a screen share go. And now the third segment of our broadcast today is diving into search. And this is the segment we just give you a quick minute or two about how to use search more effectively. Today we're going to talk about a reverse image search. You can search Google by image. Let me show you how that works. So instead of going to google.com, you've got to go to Google Images. So now here I'm at google.com. This is the normal Google homepage. And if I just click on Images, it's just a small difference here, but you can see it says Google Images. You can actually search Google with an image. There's this camera icon here you might not have noticed before. If you click there, you can paste the URL of an image that you found online. You can upload an image right from your computer or Google Drive, or my favorite, you can just take an image and drag it right into the search box, drop it there, take a moment to upload, and Google shows you a list of results related to that image. First, it makes a best guess for what the image is. Google will help you find other sizes of the image if you're searching for maybe a larger size of the image that you found. Then it will give you some actual website results, some similar images that match the image you search by, and then some pages that also include some of these matching images. So really helpful Google results just by dragging an image into that search bar. You can see now I'm in Google Images, and you can drag one of these images in and search by that new image. This is also when you're on Google Image, you can also right-click on an image and you will get a search Google for this image item in the menu. So lots of ways to search Google using an image, find more information about that image. Great for doing web research with students. If they have a picture, maybe they're not sure what the picture is of, and if they just search for using that picture, search Google, Google will make a best guess of what that image is, what's actually included in that image, and then give them related images and related web results. Great little tool that is not very well known.
And what I love about this one, Chad, is the fact that you get all those websites too. It's not just a whole bunch more images. That's really what I thought it was at the beginning. But it's just this robust tool. You get one image, and you don't have to type a bunch of text from there. And I love that second one that you showed too, where it actually knew exactly what the image was and gave us more information about that specific spot. That was pretty cool. Exactly. I love that image search.
All right, so Phil, it's on to you. Our last segment, the long course. You're going to talk about Google Play Store for EDU. Take it away.
All right, and Chad, I noticed we're actually almost staying on track here, so it's up to me, eh? I'm going to share a screen here. One of the things I wanted to remind people is we do have a blog, the swimmingintech.blogspot.com. This is a Google blogger blog. Any teacher in the district could have one of these for yourself. Eventually, we could probably begin to use this with students, especially older kids in CAV in the high school when you're 13 or over. There's some question about whether or not we'd want to use this with younger kids. But again, remember, just come back here, click the link where it says click here to enter the Hangout. We will switch that to say click here to view the Hangout. And Chad, I'm looking down at our number of viewers, and I have a feeling we messed up something on our link. So we will do better and better as we go along to make sure that we get these things. We're continually trying to find the best way to start one of these Hangouts, and it's not always as easy as we thought it would be on that. Do you agree, Chad? So last thing we want to go through real quickly is the Google Play for Education, or the Google's Play Store for Education. I get those terminology correct. So everyone, if you don't know, if you have an Android device, you know that if you're going to go get an app or a book or music or anything else or rent a video, you go to the Google Play Store. If you're on an iPhone or an iOS device, you go to iTunes. Same equivalent, just different company. They collect their money into different pockets on that one. But what Google did last fall when they came out with their tablet solution for education was they created this Google Play Store for education, and it's a whole subset of Google Play for education. It lets you do, or Google Play Store, and it lets you do all sorts of really great things. One of which is, instead of having to have your kids look up an app, search through the Google Play Store, and of course, all the distractions that they might find there, and then install the app and then wait for that 5 or 10 minutes for that to happen. You as a teacher can just go in and push apps to your students onto their Chromebooks. And you'll notice over here on the left-hand side, this is pretty much Google's standard way of doing things, the menu shows that the Android apps, for the few people in the district have tablets, we've already showed them how to do this, but we're going to show you how to do it with Chrome apps. So if you click on that link, it's going to spin a little bit, and now what we get is a list of Chrome apps that you could push out to your students. One way is, you'll notice over here, we could go by subject areas. So if you're looking for something in science and you say, hey, I want to use this with my students, you could pick one of these. Now these are what they call educator recommended apps. So you'll notice as you look through the apps, there's a yellow check mark, and if you roll over that, that will tell you the rating, and it also tells you that it's been approved by this Computer Using Educators Inc., which is just a group of computer using teachers that Google put together to rate different web apps so that you as a teacher could have a pretty good idea of what that would be. And you can see these top ones are highly rated. There's a 3 out of 5. This one's a 4 out of 5. So if you're going to start, you might start there on that one. So let's just say that you say, hey, I love this exit ticket, and it gets a 4 out of 5 by people. Pretty tough to get a 5 out of 5, I've found. But I want this to give this to all the students in my classroom. So what I could do is I just come in here, and again, you get more information about this here. So again, it's rated 4 out of 5 by the teachers. It means that there are no advertisements in this, and you can rest assured that there are no in-app type of purchases. So nobody's going to solicit more money for students once they get in there. So if you're going to use this for exit tickets, you might want to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to just say, hey, install it on a Chromebook. Now, who do you do? Whose Chromebook is this going to go to? Well, you don't really install apps on Chromebooks by the actual physical Chromebook. You send it to students so it goes into their Google account. And the great thing is they have access to this pretty much on any device they are in, as long as they're signed into Chrome. So we could go ahead and type in all of our students there if we wanted to. But even easier, if we come in here to, oops, let me go down here, and I'm going to open up my Hapara teacher dashboard, and let me get to my little class of students on that one and show you, you can use a group of students. So you could have a contact list that was already made up that you could use, or you can go to your Hapara teacher dashboard, and let's see if it's going to get there. There we go. There's my little class of 4 students. And so again, instead of typing in each of these students, I'm just going to come to the class info, and my computer's lighting up here, and once I get here, I have a class list, which is right here. So this group, this class email, I can use that. Let's see if I can select that. I can use that to push that app to all my students. So I select it. I'm going to copy that. I'll go back to the Play Store, and I'll right-click and paste, or Control-V. Click Done, and that's going to go ahead and install that on all of my students' Chromebooks. And in fact, if I come back here again and look, that doesn't show me yet. I think I might try that one more time just to be sure. Add those in, then I'm going to save the changes. There I go. Somehow it didn't take that at the first one. So again, you click on Install Chromebook. Now, it will show you, and from my view, I get to see everything, but it will show you all of the apps that you've pushed to your students as you go through here. Now, all the students need to do is go back down to the apps list, you know, and this is almost within a minute or two, sometimes instantaneously, and click, and they will find the exit ticket app on their computer. So it's a great way to really quickly get things to students, and you can see right away. The other thing is if you go to manage content, I think teachers see this, but if you can go in there and you can kind of keep track of the things that you've done as well. And remember, you would want to go up here to Chrome apps on this one, and you could check and see which ones have been installed. And again, I see a lot more just because of the view that I have on that, but you can see that things have been pushed out to people. So the future of this web store that I can see, or the Play Store for education, is one of the things that Google's trying to get into is books for students if you want to. Instead of buying a book that you may not want to use in 3 years for $15, you can say, hey, I'm just going to rent it for $3 or for $1 a piece. And honestly, if you think about that, that has some possibilities. So that's one. The other one is videos, which I think at this point, I know everybody's going to get excited about that. That is a way to students on tablets, but from what I understand, that is not possible yet to push those to take a look. And again, this is all becoming more and more blurred. The lines are becoming more blurred between tablets and Chromebooks, and I think pretty soon you'll be able to do anything in this Google Play Store for education. So there's some real possibilities there. Again, the URL for that, I'm going to go up here and get rid of that just to show you, is play.google.com. That's the regular Google Play Store, but then go /edu up here. And if you type that in, you have to be signed in to Chrome with your district teacher account, because only teachers have access to this, no students have access to this in the district. But every teacher should right now have access to this. Try it out. It's a great tool. We've had some teachers that swear by this in the district. Instead of waiting around for kids, they just let them do that. All right, that's Google Play for Education.
Hey, thanks so much, Phil. You really had the lion's share of this first episode of Swimming in Tech, so I thank you for that. I just want to remind everyone of the next meet that we have coming up. We're taking next week off because we have no school next Monday, so you'll have to wait 2 whole weeks for our next meet. Thanks so much for diving out the high dive with us into the deep end of the pool. Monday, February 23rd at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be back with you. We will clean things up. We'll have all our links working, and
we will definitely make sure that you can watch live, I hope. I'm just convinced that we did not have that link straight up on that one. I even saw a thing from Rebecca over here. I think she was trying to chat with us over there, Chad, and I kind of ignored her. But everything in the room would buzz for a while there. But we will get it. Trust us. We will get it.
Absolutely.
All right. That's it for today. Thanks for joining in, and look on, remember, swimmingintech.blogspot.com, and we will have the next week's show up at least a week ahead of time with the content that we're going to cover, and this time the proper URL for sure.